Good morning. I was just taking a break from the bathroom cement to come out in the sun and listen to the birds. But overwhelmed with all the trees I've planted, how beautiful and fiercely energetic everything is after all of the rains and the snow melt and everything. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to do a quick tour around the wheel very quickly to see or to document the trees that Sarah and Monica put into the system. Like I mentioned earlier. But yeah, I planted all of these. I'm so happy with the result. It really is life coming back, as you can hear from the birds. But yeah, apart from the background framework of trees, then may as well start at the east of the wheel. Left and right of the path here, we've got a couple of the big sweet black cherries, my absolute favorite from the fruit nations. And we'll go around the wheel clockwise here. See who's been sneaking into the system here when I've been busy building. The birds are even helping, because here we have another cherry that the birds have planted on the Ship Hill. So that's definitely staying. I think that's a wild cherry, commonly known as a sour cherry, but they're usually sweet anyway. All my birches and willows on the east here. These are here strategically over the water room to shade it, and that's why there's no windows in the water room. We've got an open cistern in there ready for rain catch for our drinking water supply. So we do everything to keep the temperature down in there naturally. And eventually there'll be a couple of overflow IBC tanks dug in here as well, so we can even fill up to extra capacity. So we have them ready and waiting for it all to be connected. We've got loads of, I haven't done the hops fencing yet, so the hops have burst to life everywhere. So it's going to look pretty wild here, like here even. I've been experimenting, letting them climb on the trees instead of fences as well from year to year to see what the result would be. In among the nettles here, you can see we've got strawberries still, and I planted them years ago, and they're still spreading. But here also we've got some volunteer maples. So when we eventually do coppice some of these birches for fuel, then they'll replace them for shade trees. Over on my left, we've got a new, we've got a new sweet cherry. Up over the hill there, there's a pear tree. There's a red currant bush there joining us. Another sweet cherry here, another sweet cherry there, another sweet cherry here. Did I say I like sweet cherries? There's a few struggling raspberries, but I think we planted them in too open ground, so that it might be too dry for them to survive. Excuse the mess, I will get this fence rebuilt. Look at the hops coming through the nettles. They're going to be all over the place soon. We've got an apple tree in there beside the willows. It looks like those raspberries have died. They might bounce back from the root. We'll see. Got a pear tree here from last year. And over there we've got an apple tree, newly added. Just over the hill in the inner cradle we've got oh yeah, I can zoom. Got a hazel in there. I think the mulberry died, unfortunately, didn't make it. It was too dried out by the time we got it in. Hops, 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 hops everywhere. I really need to do this fence. Yeah, they're really stretching, trying to find things to climb on. What more did we have? Oh yeah, we had, down there's a white currant bush being planted. A struggling black currant there that's never really done too well. A rose hip for roses and nutritional drinks. I'm gonna hurry up so this doesn't become a mega long video. Down here we got a blueberry honeysuckle, one of the only really edible sorts of the honeysuckle without getting a bad stomach. The birds have planted a red elder over there, which is their favourite food around here, as well as the rowans. Down here, Sarah's used the year that I'm not developing the food forest to plant a load of onions. But also, between here and the oak tree that we were talking about in the last video, we've got another kind of sea buckthorn. Oh, I missed one over there, which was also a sea buckthorn, the more modern kind. But that's an original one that becomes more tree-like. Down here, these weren't doing well while the forest was still standing, but now they're starting to grow. There's some red Hinnomaki sweet gooseberries, and also some black currants that are bouncing back into life now that some sun coming through. We've got 3 hawthorns here that Sarah added. We've got a couple of hazels here that might have been dry at the root when we got them, so they're taking more time to bud, one there and one there. But there's also another 2 here, which, yeah, they've budded quicker. Anyway, one there and one over here. The animals appear to have brought ground elder in as well, so all this ground cover here, this is all edible. That's excellent news, they're really helping. What have we got here? We've got beech. This will be a big beech tree later, and that'll replace as a half shade tree from the willow and birch there. Over here, there's another beech tree. So these are going to be majestic, but also give nuts for many generations to come. Around the northwestern curve of the circle, we have a black walnut that's slowly starting to bud on top. So there's still hope yet with that one. Now we've got a beech here which is preferring this location. It's already leafed. These big trees are a bit slower in putting their leaves out each season. So yeah, they really appreciated being here. There's another one there. Lots of beech nuts. Lots of nutrition and good brain food as well. A lot of omega-3 in the nuts. We have to start chopping and dropping some stuff around here, because here we have a ginkgo, Chinese medicine also for good brain function. That's leafing, so that survived. Up there on the back of the hill we've got another black walnut, and again we've got these small black buds coming out, but they're going really slow. What have we got? Oh, we got another black walnut over here. And that's, yeah, it's still putting its buds out. It looks like they're about to unfold there, so I think they survived. In here I've got a whole lot of new self-seeded trees that I need to transplant before they get too much bigger, especially a lot of the spruce that's down there, small ones, and pines. Totally surrounding Mika's tent there. Pines I planted earlier, and then one there, doing really well. And I think that's it for now. This northern landscape I've still got to raise. It's gradual hugelkultur beds I've been building up for more trees, and we're going to have sugar maple and sweet chestnut added around here, the bigger trees. We'll go into that later. And back down the eastern curve, northeastern curve of the ship. Really coming to life. Oh, we've got strawberries put up there years ago as well, flowering. The strawberries seem to love more than anything the east-facing slopes. They put out really big sweet berries when I plant them in those locations. So I will do more with that knowledge later. And we're back to the big sweet cherries. But in here, we're going to clear, well, chop and drop a bit and add in 4 or 5 dwarf sweet plum trees into these beds as well. I love the sweet plums. Maybe my stomach doesn't, but I do. Here we are again. But yeah, the trees I planted 10 years ago, they're towering all over the site now. You wouldn't think this was an empty flat field of just couch grass when I started. In previous years, I've got red and blackcurrant bushes planted over there. This one needs pruning, but I've got lots of cuttings off this rooted. That's a really nice blackcurrant with big berries. Got more different types of gooseberry here, and a gooseberry growing through a blackcurrant. And I'm going to end on one of my favorites here. It's the same age as everything else, this willow, this goat willow, but I must have planted it in the perfect spot for its relationship to water because of drainage through these stones. There used to be an old fence and toilet building here attached to the 1700s farm, so all the water runoff coming off this slope, it's really been sponged up by this, and you can't even appreciate the scale and size of this thing. Just 10 years old. On film, you just can't see how massive it is. It's pine there that I planted, and also these rows of birches to go around the Zone 3 outer circle. But that willow, I'm so happy I did that. All of these trees. This was all a flat, empty field. It still took almost 12 minutes. So, I'm going to end there. I'm going to do another video on the bathroom progress after this. Maybe by this evening, because I'm just arching over the shower walls now. The glass blocks are in. I'm really happy with that too, the way it's gone. There's my sand mine down there. It'll be a chain of Wallapini's year-round sunken greenhouses there, so I'm stacking functions by where I'm taking material, topsoil to the beds and the sand below it to cement and plaster sand. So everything has multiple reasons before I make a move. So nice to see the green coming back, especially the ship greening up. Can't wait to get those rooftop gardens on, but they're going to have to wait till next year at least. We need the front greenhouse on first. So I'm going to end there, almost 13 minutes. But I did like I promised anyway. I've documented the new inclusions in the basis for the food forest. So back to work for me. I've already mixed the cement, so bye for now.